Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Boston Red Sox Franchise Mode series here on the channel. In this episode, we're going to go through the entirety of the postseason, and we're going to kind of do a year-end wrap-up, look at the stats once again, and then we're going to get into free agency, the Rule 5 draft, arbitrations, and set ourselves up for year number 2, spring training. So without further ado, let's kind of simulate day by day here. See what happens in these wild cards. We have Houston versus New York, and we have San Diego versus Atlanta. Let's see what happens. Padres win the NL wild card over the Braves, and the Yankees beat the Astros in their wild card game. So now we have Minnesota Twins versus the Angels, the Yankees versus the Rays, Cubs versus the Mets, and Padres versus the Dodgers. Let's see what happens. See who moves on. San Diego beats Dodgers in 4 games. They're on to the NLCS. The Yankees are on their way to the ALCS, and so are the Twins. And the Mets are going to meet the Padres in the NLCS. So we have the Twins versus the Yankees and the Mets versus the Padres. Let's see who's moving on to the World Series. The Yankees are moving on to the World Series. And so are the Mets. So we have a Subway Series World Series. Let's take a look at what both teams are working with here. So the Yankees, Benintendi, Connor Falefa, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, who's been pretty good in this postseason. Anthony Rizzo, Josh Donaldson, Gleyber Torres, Harrison Bader, and Jose Trevino. If I were them, I would go like this. Switch it like that. And then in the Mets, or for the Mets, I should say, they have Starling Marte, Luis Guillorme, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Daniel Vogelbach, Mark Canha, Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo, and James McCann. On the pitching side of things, Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, 2 of the best pitchers in the game, David Peterson, Taijuan Walker, and Tyler McGill, with Bassett, Lucchesi, Smith, Ottavino, Givens, Lugo, May, and Diaz in the bullpen. And for the Yankees, they're going with Garrett Cole, the AL Cy Young winner, Frankie Montas, Luis Severino, Nestor Cortez, and Jameson Taillon. But if they're not going to play him, I'm just going to put him in the long relief spot. Then you have Domingo Germán, Jonathan Loaiza, Lucas Ludic, Scott Effross, Lou Cervino, Aroldis Chapman, Zach Britton, and Clay Holmes. So that's what the World Series was looking like. Let's see who wins this World Series. Do the Yankees come back on top again, or do the Mets win? I believe would be their first. Hold on. Where would team history be? Stats, achievements. Let's go to the Mets. They've won before, right? Yeah, so this would be their third, and the Yankees are looking for their 28th. 3-1 Yankees. Oops. 3-1 Yankees, and the Yankees are back on top. Our AL East foes are back on top with a World Series victory over the Mets in 5 games. So now let's take a look at the stats for the playoffs. League leaders. So Gleyber Torres did pretty well. So, same with Giancarlo Stanton, 373 and 368 respectively. Donaldson was pretty good, 333. Aaron Judge hit 237. Rizzo, Trevino are up there as well. Home runs, Stanton with 4, Rizzo and Torres with 2. Same with Donaldson and Judge. On base percentage, Josh Donaldson got on base a lot. They have to like that. Garrett Cole got 5 wins in pursuit of the World Series. Clay Holmes had 7 saves. ERA, Garrett Cole had a sub-2 ERA. Frankie Montas a 2.84. In the NL side of things, Francisco Lindor, Brandon Nimmo had a good postseason. Starling Marte Francisco Lindor, Vogelbach, Nimmo, and Alonso each had a good postseason home run wise. On base percentage, Francisco Lindor got on base a lot. Same with Brandon Nimmo. Wins, Max Scherzer had 2. Peterson had 2. Jacob deGrom only had 1. I would imagine he had a pretty good ERA. Yeah, 2 ERA for him. Chris Bassett was also pretty good. And that is that. So let's get out of the postseason here. Let's get into the offseason. Chris Ellis, Frank Guillermin, Caleb Ort retired due to his ability. All right. I can't say if I would have brought him back or not, but nonetheless, he is retired. Rich Hill, 43 years old. I am not surprised he decided to call it quits. He's pretty good for us in 22 games, but he has hanged up the cleats. Matt Carpenter, he is retired. Dalton Jeffries is out. He retired due to his elbow injury. Nelson Cruz retired. Pujols and Wainwright retired. Mark Melancon retired. Daniel Bard retired. That's interesting. And that's pretty much going to be it. Pujols makes the Hall of Fame. And here we go. First off, take a look at the staff. Make sure we got all of our guys that we want to be here locked up. Alex Cora. I would honestly have better grades for him. He's not a bad manager. He's not great, but he's not bad either. Brandon D. Gonna hold on to. Dave Bush. Probably let him go, find a better pitching coach. Third base coach, he's got 3 years left. Probably gonna let him go. And Corey Ramos, I would like to hang on to. So let's fire Dave Bush and Corey Feebles. So we need a pitching coach, first and third base coach. Let's see what we can find. Pitching coach. Luke Mitchell. I'm going to give him an offer. 4 years, 5.7 I'll give him. First base coach, Aaron Boone. That's funny. Cleveland Phelps, Dave Bush. No, Anthony Daly. Bill Perkins, Johnny Pena. Luke Gonzalez. I'll give him a 4-year deal, 4.7. Then third base side, Sparky Anderson. Yeah, Sparky Anderson, 4.7, same deal. All right. Exclusive free agent negotiations. We do quite a bit here. But for this portion of the offseason, I'm not going to really be doing cut commentary. I'm going to be doing highlights of who we've re-signed, who let walk. So I'm going to leave it up to that. And I'll see you guys at the end when I will come back and do more of a cut commentary type of style. Right, we are here at the start of year number 2, spring training. Let's kind of go over. Ooh, that's pretty good. Scout, hold on. No, we have the better scout. Oh, but we need international scout. All right, I'll do that later. So let's kind of go over our new look team here. So I kind of have it in order here, just so we know where our best players are going to be playing. Catcher Ronaldo Hernandez is going to get the rings to start off at least. Kevin Powicki will be the backup catcher, but he could slide in to be that starter if Hernandez struggles. Eric Hosmer at first. Trevor Story, Rafael Devers, Alexander Bogarts, Alex Verdugo, Brandon Nimmo, who we signed to a 4-year deal. I think that's about... I'm not sure. I'm not going to try doing that math. That's ridiculous. Brandon Nimmo, Christian Arroyo, JD Martinez as a DH. Full-time DH. He's back on a 2-year deal with a club option for that second year. Tristan Cassius is on the 40-man as well. We brought in Nomar Mazara, Fran Miller-Reyes. We brought in Harold Castro, who was let go. See what he did last year. Batted .317, 353 on base percentage, 123 games played. Jaron Duran, he has a 2-year contract. He is not slated to make the opening day roster. He's slated to start this year in AAA. But he's definitely still in our plans for our future. Same thing with Jeter Downs. He's not slated to be on the opening day roster. He's going to get the everyday time down there in AAA. We brought in Danny Mendick as kind of a utility guy. I think he's going to start the year in AAA. We'll see how he does here in spring. Pitching side of things, this is how the rotation is going to start off. At least that's what I'm hoping. The 5 spot is up for debate between Winkowski, Bello, and Siebold. Whoever does better wins that spot. But we brought in Trevor May on a 3-year contract. He is going to solidify that the middle innings. He's gonna be that 6th or 7th inning guy, and then we have Strom, Whitlock, Schreiber in the 7th, 8th, and maybe even 9th. But David Bednar is our closer. We acquired him from Pittsburgh to be our full-time closer. There's Cutter Crawford there as well. I don't really know what to go over. Let's kind of go over the depth chart. 2027, so this is 5 years in the future. This is how the team looks 5 years in the future without me making any moves. There's Tyler McDonough, Miguel Blaze, Jaron Duran, Marcelo Mayer. There's Jeter Downs, Matthew Lugo, Tristan Cassius, Ronaldo Hernandez, Nick York. So we definitely still have some work to do. We need some prospects in the pool. Our prospect pool is pretty thin. Besides Marcelo Mayer, Cassius, and York, we don't have a really good pitching prospects right now, like top-notch prospects. Brian Ballo definitely fits that mold, but like I said in the introductory episode, he's more of a 2-3. We still need that long-term ace. That could be Tanner Houck, but we like to have some guys that we can develop on our own. That is pretty much going to wrap it up for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, leave a like. If you want to see more content like when you just saw, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.